Hello, hello, hello. This is Greg McCullough coming to you from the Alterselfmindset set. Here we've got, we're trying to make some YouTube videos to help people out, trying to orientate them a little bit to what they are as a spiritual item, trying to give them a little better understanding of what you are inside, just trying to teach people a little bit. Hopefully some of the things we'll cover today will help you. What we're covering today is we're trying to cover our higher faculties. And of course, we know as faculties of the body, we have what we hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. And of course, every animal has that. So we're not trying to teach you about what you are as your animal instincts. What we're trying to teach you about is what you are on the inside. We're trying to teach you about what you are as a spiritual being. Okay? And this is the part they don't teach you about in school. You learn a little bit about some things as you're going through school, and I'm not against school. Of course, they teach you how to sharpen one of your higher faculties. The major higher faculty that they promote is your memory. Okay, because your memory can be based on things that can be recorded to help you, such as math or reading or the alphabet or things like that, where you can learn to be promoted in this world physically. But what we're talking about here is what promotes people while they're asleep at night, and that is your spiritual being. This is the one that's on the inside. This is the one that has to have understanding. This is the one that's actually working with the energy field that we all operate in all the time. This is the one that they don't teach you about in school. So let's get started on those, and I'll just name them out for you, and then we'll cover them, kind of give you a little overview of what they are, because if you don't even know you have them, I never knew I had them. No one gave a class on this one in school. So that's what you're in today. You're in a class to try and promote and get you a better understanding about them. So it's like having a toolbox or a tackle box maybe that you've got in your boat or in your truck, and then you learn how to use the tools that you have. So let's name them. We have the memory, okay? We have the reason, we have the will, you have the intuition, you have the perception, and you have the imagination. These are your higher mental faculties, the ones that get the job done. So let's talk about them a little bit, and we'll go over it in greater depth in maybe another video, but I want to give you just an example of what we're going to be studying. So first off, let's talk about the memory. And like I said, school teaches us a lot about this one. It teaches about, how to use it, and then you have to learn some material, and you have to pass a test, and you learn a little more material, pass a test, right? And we call these lessons, okay? And they're really for growth, in this world, the things that you can get out of this world. If a guy becomes an accountant, for instance, like he's going to learn the math. If a guy learns to be a lawyer, okay, he's going to learn, in memory law books, right? If a guy wants to be a preacher, immediately he has to use his imagination, to be able to do that. So what you want to know is that all of these things that are your spiritual mental faculties are coming through belief. Okay, you have to learn to trust the thing that's on the inside of you, and that takes belief. Entering into that for the first time, you'd have to use your imagination. You have to believe that you have them, but you have to envision yourself having them, and you have to envision how that they work for you to be able to do it. So that vision is just that. It's your imagination. So there's the memory, there's imagination. You got your reasoning. Your reason is what gives your life meaning in this world. Okay? You could reason to yourself that, someone's against you or they're for you. You could reason to yourself that your life's making a difference to people, or it's not. You could reason to yourself all different kinds of things, to be able to give yourself some leverage in life. So, those are, that's what your reasoning factor is. It's to help you out, promote you. Your intuition is like a still small voice, okay, that operates on the inside of you to let you know. With like, you ever heard of someone saying maybe they had a gut feeling, or that they heard something inside of them tug at them, or say that they wanted them to go farther, or why don't you do this? And um, maybe they didn't take that advice, and then later on someone come up with their great idea, or maybe they were with that person you should have been with. Maybe the intuition saying, "Hey, ask that person out on a date," or go for that business decision. Whichever way it works, the voice is telling you what to do and maybe what not to do. So, us sharpening up our mental skills and being highly attuned to these things is what gives us the promotion in life. It's what allows us to release our potential in this world and live a spirit filled life. Um, your perception, okay, this is the way that people see things. They see them for the good or for the bad. And realize that the Spirit of God and God Himself, there's nothing that's good or bad. There's nothing that's big or small. There's nothing that's too hard or it's easy. All right, like there's anything like that. It's all made for balance. If I understand the Scripture, it says all things work together for the good to them that love God. So it is that you have to understand that there's God and He lives inside. A lot of people think that God lives on a cloud somewhere in outer space, maybe, or some other orbital. But God lives inside of mankind. He lives there just the same way as He does the tree. And when we enter into our imagination and we create a belief inside ourselves, that's when we enter into this mental faculty of the imagination. We enter into that, and that allows us to change our perception. Okay, we could imagine for ourselves that besides a bill that has to be paid, we could get to pay the bill. If something's hard, it means that we're qualified to do the hard thing. You could use it in many different ways, but your perception is highly attuned. How would you be able to persuade the Spirit to promote you in your life? You have to allow the Spirit of God to move through you, and that's one of the ways you can do it. And like I say, your will is a thing that you have to use to be able to focus. Um, you have to be able to sharpen the will like you do like muscles, like bodybuilding. Okay, so maybe say you wanted to, try and sharpen up your will a little bit. What you could do is you could focus on one thing. Focus on one thing, and then when your mind wants to go away from it, say like on the ceiling right here. There's this spot on the ceiling. If I wanted to focus on that, when my mind decides to drift away from it over to here or down to here, what I can do is I can bring my mind back to this spot right here, okay, and keep continually bringing it back to it. Or maybe even say we put a flame out in front of us, or something like a candle, and watch it burn. And every time our mind wants to drift away from that, bring it back. Bring it into obeisance. Make it do what you want it to do. That's your will. Um, so you could use that as a tool then to help you get your goals in life. Maybe you say, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning. And I do this a lot, and I've done this just to make myself in obeisance about it. But I get up at like 4 in the morning, you know, and I can notice and track myself by my performance level of how my spirit does what I say for it to do. Like if it's in association with the Holy Spirit, it'll get up. Sometimes I'll get up at 10 minutes to 4. And it keeps me on time. It keeps me on schedule because it believes that I'm going to do what I say. Because I brought it into obeisance with an alarm clock many times, and then I get up out of the bed and I go in and I read. It's my favorite thing to do in the morning time. So, before I have a bite of any kind of food or any kind of drink or anything, I get up, splash my face, and go in there and get into the book and start reading. Okay? So there's this thing where once you program yourself, your subconscious mind takes over. Okay? You can't outperform, just remember this, you cannot outperform your self-image. This one is always doing the job, like a thermostat in the house. Okay, and we can get into self-image, we can get into goal setting, we can get into the program that you are and your paradigms and things like that. But for today, we were just going to cover these topics, and just to realize that we have them is a huge benefit in this world, because that's what you are, as a spiritual being. All right, so I want to just mention those things, and I'm going to end the video now, and thank you for your time.